Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Halfway through the week. This has been a long week so far. You know, trying to get back to the swing of things. So
I'm having a tough time.
I know, and we've been doing some working out because we're both trying to lose a little bit of weight. We didn't do it as a New Year's resolution.
We're both trying to lose a lot of bit of weight.
But I'm saying we didn't do it really as a New Year's resolution. We just said, hey, we just need to do this.
It's time. Yeah.
So just so happens to be now. Hey, for those of you who are maybe looking for love in all the right places, maybe Sunday was the busiest online dating day ever.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Dating experts say Sunday was the busiest day. One of the websites, Plenty of Fish, I don't know what that is, they say they had users sign up for the first week of January to find a partner, and it takes an average of 2 weeks quicker right now than those who sign up later, taking an average of just 10 weeks instead of 12 weeks. So I don't know why that is exactly, that maybe there's just more people looking right now. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I guess so.
So anyway, Sunday supposedly was the busiest online dating day ever.
I'll let you know how my profile goes here in a couple of weeks.
Wait a minute. We're married to each other. I know you're kidding. I hope you're kidding.
I'm kidding.
All right. Coming up, we've got some fun stuff to celebrate today. We'll tell you what on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today is Wednesday, the 6th day of January. It is the 12th day of Christmas right now. It's Epiphany. That's what Epiphany is. So it's the 12th night or 12th day of Christmas. So Christmas is officially done. Is this what is it they give them on the 12th day? On the 12th day of Christmas?
A partridge in a pear tree.
No, that's on the first day.
Oh, I don't know.
12 something.
I don't know. That's never been one of my favorite Christmas songs.
That's the one that you only sing once. So, you know, everybody knows Partridge in a Pear Tree because you sing it over and over and over.
That's right, because that was done over and over.
Hopefully your stuff is all done. I read a thing about how expensive it is to do that. Why would anybody want those? Those are the most ridiculous gifts.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, get you some pipers. They're going to be piping.
Maybe back in the day that was...
I don't think they were
those
good
were
gifts.
Quite the gifts.
Today is also Three Kings Day. So got all that stuff going for you on this Wednesday, the 6th day of January.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A man stows away on an airplane in about the most dangerous way possible, on the outside of the airplane. It's
oh, my gosh.
Trying to catch a free ride, but 27-year-old Romanian refugee became a stowaway on a German flight, and he didn't hide in the bathroom or the luggage area. He latched onto the landing gear.
Oh, my gosh.
Authorities say the man, whom they did not name, had scrambled undetected onto the forward tire of the aircraft shortly before the Berlin-bound airplane took off. Hauled himself into the gear shaft, so when the airplane puts his wheels up, it was up in there. The pilot was unable to retract the gear all the way, so they had to abort the flight to find out what was wrong, and that's what was wrong. They had to return to Munich.
Oh, my gosh.
Meanwhile, the stowaway managed to survive the 23-minute flight by holding on to the landing gear of a Boeing 737. He had to be taken to the hospital.
I'm sure he did.
Guess what he was suffering from?
What?
Hypothermia. Because it's very cold.
Oh, my
And he was
gosh.
hanging out on the outside of an airplane. He was also suffering from being an idiot. I don't know if there's really a technical term for that, but whatever that is. There are people who die trying to do this. I've read other stories where there were numerous people who've died trying to hide, like, inside the wheel housing because they think, oh, hey, I can hide here, and then when they take off, I'll be fine. No, when they take off, the wheels crush them. Others die where they get there and they land and, like, a body falls out because they froze to death.
Gosh.
So it's not a good idea to try to stow away on an airplane, period, no matter where you try doing it. But certainly don't try doing it in the wheel well. This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this guy was
Cargo
thinking.
area, maybe you'd be
Again,
all right, but...
This was a 27-year-old Romanian refugee, and he was stowing away on a German flight and didn't go so hot. Anyway, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. When should the law not apply? Maybe when it's used against the police chief? I don't know. While investigating a fellow female officer suspected of using drugs, police in Portland, Oregon searched through her garbage. They retrieved drug paraphernalia and items sent to the lab for blood analysis. In response to public outcry, the trash search of the police chief in Portland, Oregon says the garbage is on the curb. It's abandoned in terms of privacy.
Yep, so
seeing an opportunity, a local newspaper decided to take the police chief at his word. They dug through the garbage and recycling left outside of the homes of the police chief and the mayor and the district attorney.
Well,
the newspaper's haul included printed personal emails and financial statements. The mayor called the paper's actions potentially illegal and absolutely unscrupulous and reprehensible. Somebody needs to give the mayor a phone number for the chief of police, though, because...
You know what? I disagree. I first of all, it was totally their right to look through it, but... if they published it in the newspaper, that's not okay.
Well, but the thing is, you can't say the law applies to you but not to me. And here's the thing. Don't throw away things that have your personal information on them.
No, but even still, you don't publish... I mean, that was a crappy
I don't know
thing
that they
do.
necessarily published it. Anyway, it all started because there were drug paraphernalia that was taken from a police officer's garbage can. Now, I'm trying to figure out, was it actually her garbage, or was it something that was evidence that got knocked in the garbage? You know, because to me, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's happening in Portland, Oregon. So kind of sounds like it's quite the to-do going on there. Coming up, we've got our moment of duh. We're going to head to Germany for that one.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Got a moment of duh, and we head all the way to Germany for this one. A German man's car wouldn't start because he thought maybe it was too cold, so he decided all I need to do is a little warmth, right? So I'm going to thaw this sucker out. Well, metal box of paper towels that he lit on fire and slid under the engine was not a good idea. The car burst into flames, of course. His car did warm up because it was completely engulfed in flames. He thought, I'm going to warm this sucker up by lighting a fire under the engine of my car with a box full of paper towels.
Wow.
Yeah, don't do that. That is such a bad idea. I mean, why did he think that was a good idea?
I can't even imagine.
Just need to warm it up a little. Just going to do a little fire under my car.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that happened in Germany. You know, sometimes people just don't think, and I think this is a time when that guy just didn't think. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That's on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. One state that I've not been to that I would like to go to is Hawaii, and they just made the news for doing something interesting there. Guess what they just did?
What'd they do?
They raised the legal smoking age to 21. Many states, it's 18. Now in Hawaii, got to be 21.
Oh.
According to a recent study, kids who are musicians develop better social skills. So get those kids tapping their toes or strumming guitars or blowing on flutes or whatever, and they're going to have better social skills in the future. Soon you'll be able to take a pill to erase bad memories. A widely available blood pressure pill could someday help people erase bad memories, perhaps treating some anxiety disorders and phobias. The drug was shown to significantly weaken people's fearful memories of spiders and other creepy things. So if you've got things that you're afraid of, you take this pill. It's actually supposed to be a pill that was done for, what was it, blood pressure? But it helps you forget about spiders and creepy things.
I think that's a bad idea.
Take the pill and you'll forget about it.
Yeah, well.
According to a recent study, more doctors are starting to make house calls again. And some of this has to do with doctors. There are doctors that are no longer taking insurance. They said, we're not going to do insurance at all. We're going to do our own practice, our own way. We're going to come to you. They're trying to do a health care plan that completely goes around the Obamacare plan.
I love that.
So it's interesting. That's happening all over the country. Dedham, Massachusetts, a 38-year-old burglary suspect by the name of James Miller had allegedly planned a great escape with his girlfriend. The idea was to free himself using a handcuff key his girlfriend would pass to him during a hug or a kiss while they were in court. Unfortunately, James made a little mistake. He allegedly discussed the plot with his girlfriend during a phone call from jail. Those are monitored, so didn't work out so hot. James was already facing charges of a heroin possession, and he was a suspect in several burglaries of stores. Now he's charged with attempted escape and conspiracy. His girlfriend, by the way, was also arrested, charged with attempting to aid a felon to escape. So there you go. Heidi, if I'm ever in the big house, you're going to have to just leave me there. I'm sure you would. Billy Franklin had his bank holdup all planned out. He walked into a bank with a knit cap pulled down to obscure his face from the cameras. He made sure the teller's window had no alarms and no exploding dye booby traps. The holdup note had no fingerprints or any other identification. He thought this through. The bills he received were small and not in sequence. He'd planned the perfect robbery, except for one thing, Heidi.
What's that?
He had no getaway vehicle. He simply walked from the robbery carrying his money in 2 large bags with the bank's name clearly printed on them. And a policeman spotted him walking down the road minutes after the robbery and arrested him. So what was his plan?
Apparently he thought if he just blended in with the crowd, they wouldn't notice him.
But you don't blend in carrying 2 giant bags with the
really
bank's name on the side of it. Speaking of robbing banks, apparently there's a bunch of idiots doing this. Pierre Gomez drove to a bank in Lodi. It was the Valley National Bank. He handed the teller a hold-up note. While the teller was pretending to get money, another teller pressed the silent alarm. Before the dumb criminal even knew what was happening, his car was completely surrounded by the cops. You know why?
Why?
This bank is 50 yards from the police department. It's like next door. So it's like right across the way. So why would you rob the bank that's right across the way from the police department?
Some people just don't think things through, clearly.
Apparently not. And those who do think things through don't rob banks. So there you go. Got a strange law. You ready for this?
I am ready.
Unless you have a doctor's note, it is illegal to buy ice cream after 6 p.m. in Newark, New Jersey.
Didn't we talk? We talked about that one.
I think it was a different place that we talked about last time.
I don't know. I don't remember where it was, but I know we've read that law.
I'm going to have to just get a doctor's note that's good for any time, anywhere for ice cream, because if I have a hankering for ice cream, I don't want to have to go track down a doctor. That'd be kind of crazy. Anyway, that's a strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I've got a special guest on the telephone line right now. I have an author with us, Lisa Becker, and she's got a couple of different books out. Lisa, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me on the air today.
Well, we're really glad to have you on the program. And you've got, this is really kind of fun. You've got a book called Click, another one called Double Click, and another one called Right Click. That's a trilogy. And then you have a new one called Clutch. So will you have Double Clutch and Right Clutch coming out soon, or no?
No, I think Clutch is going to be a complete standalone story. But, Click started out as a standalone as well. It was inspired by the real-life sort of dating misadventures that I had when I was looking for love. I met my husband online more than 15 years ago when online dating was in its infancy.
Yeah.
And after we were married, I started writing down some of the funny stories of things that happened to me in dating, along with stories from friends, and this novel emerged, and I put it out there thinking it would just be a fun little read, and it actually did well enough that I ended up writing 2 and 3 more in the series.
That's really cool. And that first book, when you put Click out, and it's called Click, an online love story, it was successful, and people liked those characters enough that you said, let's do another one. So then you had Double Click, and then Right Click. Now, Clutch, are these the same people, or are these different people in Clutch?
Clutch is a separate story.
Okay.
So Click follows a woman from Los Angeles who's searching for love online, and the entire story is told exclusively in emails between her and her friends, and her and the hilarious dates that she goes on. And Double Click and Right Click continue with her and her friend's story 6 months later. So each book takes place jumps forward 6 months. Clutch is about a handbag designer who goes through a series of disastrous relationships that she compares to different styles of handbags. So each chapter is a different handbag style.
Neat.
That represents a different relationship that she has, and she's searching for the clutch, or the one that she wants to hold on to.
That's awesome. What a neat idea.
You know, I like to watch television in the background while I'm writing, and I happened to be watching a show one day, and a character said something about how men were like handbags, something useless that a woman could hang on their arm. And I started thinking about how men really were like handbags, and from there, this sort of story just emerged, and I started writing it down. It actually started out as a screenplay that had been optioned by a major studio, but it fell out of development about 6 months ago, or maybe close to a year ago. And so I decided to turn it into a short novel so that I could get the story out there. And my hope is that someone within that entertainment industry will read it, love it, think it would make a great movie, and we can kind of get that motion picture back on track.
That would be awesome. So anybody listening that, is in that industry that wants to make a movie, hint, hint, check out the book Clutch. Now, where can we find these books? If maybe somebody's listening going, hey, I want to read Clutch, or I want to read Click, Double Click, or Right Click, where can they find these?
The easiest place to find them is online at Amazon or at barnesandnoble.com. They're also, I believe that the Click trilogy is also available at the iTunes bookstore and Kobo and a couple of other the online retailers. But Amazon is the primary place where I think it's easiest for people to purchase and download.
Very nice.
And it's also available as a print copy, so you can actually purchase the actual physical book in addition to a digital file.
Now, what are you working on right now? After Clutch was done, are you working on another book similar to that, or are you working on something that'll be more of a trilogy again, or what's up next for Lisa Becker?
Well, I've got two projects I'm working on. One is another love story. I seem to be a sucker for a good love story that I haven't really yet titled, and I'm sort of in its early stages. And then I'm also very eager to try to get a movie version of Clutch back on track. And so one of my goals for this year is to reach out and try to get some representation within the entertainment industry and see if we can find someone who'd like to take the story to the big screen or even the small screen. I think it'd be a great Lifetime movie as well.
So if you just close your eyes and imagine the main character in Clutch, who would you see playing that? Of all the people, and I understand that it's probably not up to us to pick who that is, but is there somebody you'd say, I really think that main character is Meg Ryan, or who do you think that would be?
I actually envisioned someone when I was writing the movie. Her name is Eloise Mumford. She's a young female who played Kate, the main friend in the 50 Shades of Grey movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that she's really beautiful and smart, and she's got a warmth to her, and I think she'd make a perfect Caroline.
Well, so if somebody knows her, like I said, have her reach out to Lisa. Well, Lisa,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us. Congratulations on the success of Click and Double Click and Right Click, and I wish you the very best on Clutch. And I'll be really excited, and I'm not going to say if it happens, but when it happens, when I walk into the theater one day and I see that giant poster hanging up that says Clutch the movie, I'll be excited for you, and you know what's going to happen.
I so appreciate it. Thanks for all the well wishes.
Well, thank you so much. Again, we've been visiting with Lisa Becker, and again, if you'd like to find her books, they're called Click, Double Click, and Right Click, and then she's got her newest book, Clutch. You can find those on Amazon. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Study from researchers at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles have concluded that people whose diets are rich in fiber and fruit are more likely to be of normal weight and not get as fat.
Duh.
Yeah, they had to do a
study.
study.
They had to do a study.
If you eat a lot of fiber and fruit...
That's ridiculous.
Hey, I wonder if I could get some sort of grant, a study that says people who eat more French fries and fried foods have a tendency to weigh a little more. And... I don't know. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Students at a secondary school in New Delhi, India, are living in terror of a monkey that has been disrupting classes for the past 15 days. Since monkeys are scarce in India, it's tough to get anybody to come and get rid of him. I'm sorry, not scarce, sacred. I was going to say. Since monkeys are sacred in India, it's tough to get anybody to come and get rid of him.
Is he angry? Like,
yeah, there's a monkey
mean to them?
He's been disrupting their class. He's been monkeying around, I'm thinking. I don't know for sure. So.
Huh.
Just think it'd be kind of funny. Oh, what'd you guys do today at school? Well, most of the day we were being taunted by a monkey.
Terrorized by a monkey.
Yeah, but other than that, it was just kind of the same old, same old. Coming up, guys, we have men's rules. And ladies, these apply to you as well. But these are rules, supposedly, that are the new rules for men. So get ready. That's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, for those of you who are new to this program, my beautiful wife and I, this is my wife, Heidi. The two of us have been married for quite some time, and there are unwritten rules in many households. And now I have for you, this was sent to me by a friend through the internet, so you know it's this is solid stuff right here.
Is this going to be another lame list?
The men's rules. Number one, ladies, learn to work the toilet seat. You're a big girl. If it's up, put it down. If you can't handle it, why is it that we have to worry about it? So they're saying, don't complain. Just put it the way you want it. Another one. I like this one. Crying is nothing more than blackmail. It is.
That's not true.
If there's ever a time we get in an argument and you cry, I'm like, I give up. What did I do? Did I say something stupid? Probably did. Next, I love this one too. Ask for what you want. Be clear here, folks. Don't drop subtle hints. Don't drop big, strong hints. Don't drop hints. Just say, hey, I want this. That makes it so much easier.
Okay.
Yes and no are perfectly acceptable answers to almost every question. Next, come to us with problems only if you want us to solve the problem. That's what we do. If you want sympathy, talk to your girlfriends. If you want problem solved, talk to us. Next on the list of things for men, anything we said 6 months ago is inadmissible in this argument. Don't you remember? You said, I'm like, it was like 6 months ago. If you think you're fat, don't ask. Next, I'm going to just move on that one. You've never asked me.
No, I just flat out say I look fat in this. I don't even ask.
Yeah, I don't, and if you asked, I'd say you look good because to me, no matter what, I think you look great. If something we said can be interpreted two ways and one makes you look mad or angry and the other one doesn't, that's the one we meant. So either way. You can either ask us to do something or tell us to do something, but don't do both. Don't ask me to do it and then tell me to do it. Whenever possible, try to ask your questions during the commercials.
Oh, my gosh.
And finally, all men see only 16 colors. Peach is not a color, that's a fruit. Pumpkin, that's also a fruit. We have no idea what mauve is, and we don't even want to know. So there you go. Just a list of things that you ladies need to know about us men. There were others, but those were the best. Just imagine how bad the others were. Coming up, we've got a flea circus court. It's coming up in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Have you ever heard of a flea circus? I used to see those on Bugs Bunny and stuff. I don't know if that's a real thing.
I've never seen a flea circus, but I've seen them on
But maybe they could have one in this courtroom. A court has been closed because of a flea infestation.
Ew.
Bug spray made it actually worse. It's almost like the bubonic plague. A court has now been closed after officials were bitten by fleas. The infestation was made worse when somebody sprayed the court with anti-flea disinfectant because it drove the insects to the inside of the building. The fleas are now believed to have been taken into the court by stray cats. That's how they think they got in there.
I was going to say, how on earth did they get in the
stray
courthouse?
cats were there because they had rats in the building that attracted the cats.
Oh, my goodness.
The court will remain closed until the fleas and the rats and the cats are all out. This sounds like a story that's made up, but it's true. How did they get there? Well, we had a rat problem, so then we bought some cats. And then now we got a cat problem, and now we got some fleas. So, yeah, it just sounds like, doesn't it like a bedtime story or something?
It does.
All right. Coming up here in a bit, we've got a Gallup poll. Going to see how you rank. Are you liberal? Are you conservative? We're going to talk about who's on the winning end of that conversation in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
I try very hard on this program to not talk about politics, but I thought this was kind of an interesting thing. Gallup, the group that does telephone polls, they do surveys all over the place.
Right, yeah.
And they say that conservatives outnumber liberals in 47 of the 50 states. And this is when people call and they say, are you more conservative, more moderate, more liberal? And they said that conservatives outnumber liberals in 47 states. And then it says here there's only 3 states where the people said they were more liberal that outnumbered conservatives. Do you know what states they are?
I would assume New York is one. No. Really?
Try again. You'll never guess.
Michigan?
No.
Missouri?
No.
What?
The 3 states are Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, Hawaii.
Vermont and Massachusetts.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the most conservative states were Wyoming, Alabama, and Mississippi. So there you go. If you're saying, hey, you know what, I'm planning on moving somewhere someday and that really matters to me, I'll put that on our Facebook page just so you know how to find it. Coming up, we got the clapper we're going to chat about. I haven't even thought of those for years. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Clap on, clap off. Remember that? Those commercials?
I do remember that.
I loved those commercials. I always wondered if like somebody was watching that had a clapper, would that make their TV turn off?
If you had your TV hooked up to the clapper.
It was very popular, and it might still be. It's the clapper, the device that you hook to lights in your house, so you'd be able to just clap them on or clap them off. I think it'd be really funny to What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. I can't say it on the radio.
Oh, okay. I think it'd be really funny to put these kind of things at places where people clap a lot. Mm-hmm. So if they had these like where they have concerts and people are clapping and the lights are going on and off, that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, a New York appeals court rejected a woman's lawsuit against the company that makes the clapper. You know why?
Why?
She claimed that she hurt her hands because she had to clap too hard.
Oh my gosh!
To make her appliances go on and off.
Her appliances.
Apparently, she had hooked to a fan. I don't know. I'd like some coffee. My refrigerator quit running.
It would take an awful lot of clapping to keep a fridge going, I would think.
I don't know. The judge determined that it is her fault because she failed to adjust the sensitivity controls on her clapper.
Yeah.
So apparently, those things can be set to be more sensitive and less sensitive.
Well, I'm glad to hear that they didn't fall for that.
Yeah.
Give her some money. That's nice to know there are still a few judges out there with some brains in their heads. That's
yeah,
great.
Well, there's a lot of judges out there with brains in their heads. Anyway, this is a New York appeals court. She's trying to sue the clapper people.
Wow.
That didn't work. So she's going to have to clap a little harder, and she's going to have to like walk across the room now to turn things on and off. So my computer's making noise. Do you hear that?
I hear it.
I don't know what's going on. Coming up here in a bit, we've got some good news to share. I'm going to see if I can figure out what's going on over here. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I always try to end this program with some good news. Well, first good news was I figured out what was making the noise. I'd opened a browser on my computer, and there was an ad going off like crazy on there. I wish that they would just make those so you have to click on them to make noise.
Yeah, I agree.
If I don't click on it, I don't want to hear it. I just think that would be a good rule. Anyway, back to the good news for good news. Suggestion from the GPS for the soul on sleeping better. Representatives say it's important to unplug before you go to bed by creating a buffer zone between wake up and sleep. So here's what they're saying. If you struggle to get to sleep and you lay in bed looking at your phone, you're going to continue to struggle to get to sleep. And here's one of the things that they suggest. They suggest not just having an alarm to wake up, set an alarm to what time you'd like to go to bed as well. So if you're doing stuff, you hear the alarm go off, go, oh, it's bedtime. I've never thought of that, but that's a kind of a cool idea. To have your alarm go off that says time to go to sleep.
Okay. I don't really need that. My body tells me when it's time to go to sleep.
See, then I come to bed like 2 hours later, and you're like, would you quit making noise?
There is an app that you can use on your phone that will make your screen, because it's the bright blue lights in the screen that make it so you can't sleep. There's an app that you can put on your phone that kind of puts a reddish hue on your screen.
Really?
So that's supposedly not supposed to keep you awake anymore.
Well, there you go. Well, they suggest setting a go-to-sleep alarm. And we use an alarm to wake up. They're saying use one to go to sleep as well. And they're saying that put aside your devices before you go to bed. So don't bring them with you GPS for the Soul suggests 2 different alarms. The first would be a cue to wind down, so like 30 minutes till sleepy time. Another one would be a time you need to be in your room getting ready for sleep. So that's what they're claiming is a good way to do it. It's kind of a cool idea. I've never even thought to have a sleep alarm before, so I'd have to try that. We just set alarms for everything. Time for dinner. Beep, beep. Time to go home from work. Beep, beep. I don't know if I want to get in a position where my phone is telling me everything, but fun stuff. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
I should have set an alarm for that. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break, only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. If you're still shaving with your razors from last year, you might just be doing it wrong. Check into the Dollar Shave Club. For as little as $3 a month, they'll bring razors right to you. They're very affordable. They're very high-quality razors, and you don't ever even have to think about it. It's a no-brainer. Check it out at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Got a wacky but true story. These always make me just kind of smile. This is kind of scary, actually. A man was having problems with his computer. So what does he do? He calls and has a technician come out. But here's where things get a little weird. He would not let the technician leave his home until the computer was fixed. This happened in Virginia. He went to the extreme. Man refused to let the technician leave his home, held him at gunpoint. So the police finally said, when he did get out, he called, and the guy allegedly had a gun saying, "You're going to fix my computer." No, you're not. I don't care if it's time for you to go home. You're fixing my computer. This guy might be taking it just a little, too much. He's a little addicted to the internet. 19-year-old Australian robbed a store, managed to elude police even though the security cameras got his picture. Even when the local paper published the picture, the young man still wasn't caught. It wasn't until he showed his mother the photo in the paper to complain about how unflattering the picture was.
Oh, my gosh.
His mom, seeing the photo and what he did, turned her son into the police.
Good for her. I would, too.
So perhaps he'll be a little more pleased with his mugshot. I don't know. But that was in Austria. He's a 19-year-old boy. We've got our own 19-year-old boy. I don't think we have to worry about him.
Oh, no. We definitely don't have to worry about him doing anything like that.
Robbery. But this next story, I can definitely say he's definitely attached to it. Star Wars.
Ugh.
Box office now has surpassed Titanic and Jurassic World. Star Wars The Force Awakens made an additional $88.3 million over the weekend, zipping past the domestic grosses of both Jurassic World, which was $652.3 million, and Titanic, which was $658.7 million, to become the second highest earner of all time with $740.3 million in just 19 days of release. So the second highest earner of all time, what was the highest earner?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't you think that should be in the story?
You would think so.
Globally now, it has made $1.5 billion.
That is insane.
Our son has been to it 3 times, so he's been...
I just don't get it.
We had this conversation
really
at dinner last night.
cannot get into Star Wars at all.
Our son is 19. I love him dearly, and if he's listening, Troy, I love you. But it was funny because we had the conversation that you need to maybe spend a little less time posting things on Facebook about Star Wars.
Yeah.
He had like 87 posts about Star Wars. I'm like, Troy, come on, man. People are going to start to think you're weird. So, anyway, that was a fun conversation to have with your 19-year-old son. I'm so proud of him, though, because he's taken off for the Navy now in about 2 months. So, between now and 2 months from now, he's got a lot of... Because he's 60 pounds underweight.
I wish I had that problem.
I'm like 160 pounds overweight. So he's got to do. If you have some good ideas on what he can do to bulk up between now and Navy Day, have to reach out to us and let us know.
There you go.
All right, time to say goodbye again, Heidi.
Goodbye again, Heidi.
That's our bonus break, brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.